Welcome to The Twist, everybody, America's only clothing optional podcast. Rick and I are back for our 40th show after quite a hiatus. And how you doing there, Rick? I'm in New York City. Where are you?
I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. 40 shows, and yes, quite a hiatus. You've been traveling, but you're back.
Yes, and we've actually done like a couple hundred shows under various different names, but The Twist podcast is our current and hopefully final incarnation because we have reached peak fabulousness.
I know, and I am glad it's you, it's me, it's Twisty, our intern that no one gets to see, and I have some notes for Twisty. I need you to have Z needs to work on
C. Now I heard a pastor a number of years ago who was very conscious of all that, and C said C, like C, like the letter C. You say Z. Z is very Chinese, but C said C.
I'm going to start using they because they is proper.
It's easier.
About my lighting, number one, and also when I used to do radio for years, Mark, I had a cough button, and just before we started the show, we had to restart everyone. We had to reboot the show. Because I had to do this. I had to clear my throat. My vitamin went down wrong this morning, and I don't have a cough button. I don't have anything that.
Oh, I never heard of such a thing.
Oh my God, it was great. In the real radio world, you would just be able to do it, and no one would see you cough. You just go.
Well, I have a mute button on my microphone. I guess that's a cough button. Wait, let's see if it works.
Oh my God.
Did you hear me?
It does. Yeah, it'd be a fun exercise.
You saw me, but you didn't hear me.
No. No. Well, we have, we do our podcast, but we also do put it on YouTube. So if you're listening to us, hop onto YouTube, Google search The Twist, and you'll find us. Let's do a little exercise. Get your little mute button, move your mouth, say some words, and I'm going to just voice what those words are, and people think you're voicing it. I'll cover my mouth. Okay, let's try it. Hey, everybody. I think, Mark is not really muted. Oh, there we go. Rick's so funny. Isn't he beautiful? What a nice man. Okay. Now
I was going to say, I can't. Now we got to stop fucking around here because people are going to.
Because now we can't get you back.
No, but people are going to say, "What the hell is this?" I'm out of here.
Oh my God! Yeah, peace out. Hang in with us, guys.
No, I said not my president, but I could see that you were having fun with it.
Oh, don't. I enjoyed it. Well, anyway, Mark's back from a big cruise. We're going to talk about that in a little bit on the show, guys. I'll have some final thoughts. We'd like to end the show with a quote, and Mark's giving us both an opportunity for a quote today because we haven't had a show in quite a while. But before we do that, we'd like to start the show with some red lines, funny news headlines, yes, twisted headlines. And, of course, we have that bell for those that are joining us for the first time. You'll hear our little school bell. Set up a cough button when we're ready to cut each other off and move on to the next.
Well, I was on a cruise for almost 2 weeks, and so I had a bunch of headlines. And the Wi-Fi on the ship, by the way, is they've made so many advances. The Wi-Fi on the Royal Caribbean was amazing because the last time we cruised, it wasn't like that. It was crappy, very expensive. But now it's not that expensive, and it works like a charm. So thank you, Royal Caribbean, for thinking of us.
And do you pay a lot? I mean, my friend Julie cruised, and she was texting me and Facebooking all the time. But do you pay a lot for that plan?
It was like $20 for two people, me and Frank, for a day. $20 a day. It wasn't bad.
No, it's not bad because if you had liquor, it's like, $100 a day or some shit like that, unlimited?
If you drink. I don't drink.
I know, that's what I mean. So at least you can Facebook and text and be in touch with the
real world. You would have gone bankrupt as much as you drink.
Oh, my God. No, Mark, you know what I do? I sneak the vodka in my perfume bottles.
You buy it in Barbados and sneak it in your boot, your shoe.
Yeah, people do all that bootlegging. It's really called bootlegging. Send those people home. Jeez.
So you want to hear about my headlines? These are because
let's alternate. I've got some good ones too, Mark.
Well, archaeologists are about to find Nefertiti's tomb. Now, Nefertiti, if you don't know, she was the Lady Gaga of like the 3000 BC. Very famous Egyptian queen, and they never found her tomb, but they're about to. So I'm very excited, and I've got my eye on that.
Very interesting. It's twisted, but cool. Yeah. Here's a headline. Man in chimp suit goes wild and take it really happened, Mark. But then I get read deeper in the story. Apparently, the zoo in Tokyo does it every year. They 1 year they did it. Someone dressed as a zebra. 1 year, someone dressed as a leopard. This year, it was a drill to take down a chimpanzee. So they do this in the zoo. It's a zoo called, I don't even know where it is. It's in Tokyo, but basically, it's the Tama Zoological Park. 100 people participate, including zookeepers, police, firefighters. They track down the runaway animal to drill, so they're ready if a real chimp should escape the zoo. But the headline got my attention. Isn't that good?
You broke up, by the way, in the beginning. So somebody dressed up as a shrimp? Is that what you're saying?
No, it wasn't a shrimp, a chimp.
Oh, a chimp. Okay. Yeah, and just stick to the trunks. We don't need paragraphs. You ready? Wearable fitness devices don't seem to make you more fit. A man proposes that actually it's all about dieting. It's not about your Fitbit and your Blaze. I have a Blaze. Frank, by the way, it works really well for him. He's an obsessive walker. He walks 15,000 or more steps a day, and he's lost a bunch of weight. So I don't know that it doesn't work. It doesn't work if you're like me and you eat a scone, between when you're checking your Fitbit. But anyways, that's that.
Well, yeah, and when you start eating your new Oreo flavor, did you see they came out with a Peeps flavor? I think it hits the stores this week.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's pretty.
Peeps is like a marshmallow. That's all it tastes. It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like marshmallow with a bunch of sugar in it.
I know. Then you just put it between two little Oreo things. I think they must be the vanilla Oreo because a Peep with chocolate Oreo doesn't sound good. Miss Kentucky USA finalist charged with arson after allegedly setting roommate's bed on fire.
Wow.
Yes, this did happen. I know. It was in the USA program, which was once owned by Donald Trump. Interesting story. So she's been removed. It made me dig deeper into some of the other stories of former Miss Americas, Miss USAs. Remember Vanessa, what was her name?
Vanessa Williams, for God's sake. Super famous, and you don't know her name?
Well, I just was having a Trump fix. Okay. Everybody's named Trump in my mind. And then, the other ones. I didn't know this story. There was a Miss USA teen. That was the same year that Tara, whatever her name was Miss USA. And they got in trouble because they were making out. Do you remember that story?
No, but why was this lady lighting a bed on fire? Was she trying to hurt somebody?
Yeah, her roommate. She was very upset with her roommate.
But her roommate wasn't in the bed,
threw up her
right?
chances. No.
Okay.
No. But she will not be the next Miss Kentucky, needless to say.
Well, I would imagine not.
Twisted.
Did you see the ad in the Texas? Of course, they're trying to pass all these bills now, quote unquote bathroom bills. But anyways, there's a group in Texas that is standing with LGBT people and opposing the bathroom bill, and it's called "Everyone is to Pee with LGBT." And they made a video. It's very fun. It shows a bunch of people in bathrooms standing up for their LGBT friends and loved ones.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you didn't see that? Oh, that was all over the place. Yeah. There's a video of it. I told you, follow me on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I said, Mark, all I was seeing was pictures of islands and you sleeping and resting and beautiful sunsets. You think I want to look at that while I was in the middle of being demoted at my job and struggling to make money?
You were happy with that, though. You're happy with that.
That's a whole other subject. I'm very happy with it. But...
You see my St. Martin hat, by the way, for people who are watching this on YouTube. St. Martin. I got 2 hats. I got a bunch of little knickknacks and stuff. And I met this I'm going to talk about that after here. I met this supernatural being in Barbados. His name's David. But anyways, next up, Stonewall. Did you know that, everybody talks about Stonewall like it was...
Excuse me, it's my headline.
Really? No, you just did... Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
No, everybody thinks that Stonewall was the beginning of the gay rights movement. It wasn't. First of all, there was the Mattachine Society. There was all kinds of stuff before that. But actually, the first bar riot was at the Black Cat. It was a bar in Silver Lake in Los Angeles. I'm sure you remember Silver Lake well. But back in 1967.
Really?
Yeah, police. You didn't know about that? Police raided it.
No.
The patrons rioted and everything. And they just had the 50th anniversary. And the Black Cat, by the way, I had made a note of this, that it had been changed names many times over the years. Then it was the last time it was a Latino gay bar. And now it's a restaurant, but they kept the name. They renamed it the Black Cat in honor of this historic event and landmark. And they have pictures of the Black Cat riots on the wall. So...
Now listen, if I was a listener on the show, I'd be like, wow, this show's worth listening to. Because I didn't know that, number one. Number two, I want to go there when I ever get back to LA. And number three, yes, of course I know Silver Lake. I love Silver Lake.
Yeah.
It's a great area.
I'll meet you
there.
there.
But I had never been to the Black Cat. Did you know about the Black Cat, or did you just learn
I knew
about
the Black Cat because I'm a history person. And every year when these, Stonewall comes around, Pride comes around, especially the younger folks. First of all, I don't know that they're that into Stonewall. But everybody thinks that it all started with Stonewall, and it didn't. And,
well, I think we had to get behind something, I mean, and that's what rallied it. But
are you going to watch?
hey,
Are you going to be watching When We Rise?
yeah, my God, I'm pretty excited about it. It's on ABC too, or one of the major networks,
Yeah, it's on
isn't
a
it?
major network. It starts on the 27th. I can't wait.
Is it a is that well, I know real quick? Is it like a mini series or is it an
I don't
ongoing
know.
series?
It's not going to be like a yearly thing. It's not that kind of
Hmm.
series. I think it's a special event.
Well, next week's show it'll be like the day after it airs, so we'll have to talk about it. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. We've got Mardi Gras season going on though, Mark. So I'm very
Oh, I
busy
know,
this
I
week
know.
with
King cakes, all that stuff.
parades and king cakes. Yeah. Anyway, here's a headline that really got me concerned. Well, literally starts with the word head too. Just a heads up, your eyelashes are probably crawling with mites.
I don't want to know this.
Mark, right here. It says you may be gross, but it's
See, and all this time,
actually.
I thought it was the video. All this time, Rick, looking at you, I thought it was the video, squirming around
When
there.
I was out,
It's the mites on your eyebrows.
when my eyelashes, eyelashes. We're both confusing with eyebrows. You're right. They're talking about here. They're talking about your eyelashes. But apparently, it's actually not harmful. Your face can play host to two species of microscopic mites. These mites live in hair follicles, feasting on your body's oily secretions. That's nasty.
No, but it's also very natural. I mean, our guts are filled with all kinds of bugs and stuff, but it
I
keeps
know.
us healthy.
Probiotics, baby.
Yeah. Washington, D.C. has the highest self-identified LGBT population in the United States.
Love it.
Yes. Next up was Maine, I believe, and then Massachusetts. So, anyways, a whole bunch of LGBTQ queer people in Washington, D.C. Props to them, especially during these trying times.
Yeah, it's great. I know DC totally changed its profile. My friends that live out there said during the Obama administration over those 8 years, the city really changed to a more youthful, diverse city. So it's pretty cool. Here's my headline. Orange-tinted alligator dubbed Trumpagator. It's an orange reptile dubbed the Trumpagator. It's turning heads in South Carolina, Hanahan, South Carolina.
Yeah, but is it artificially colored?
No, it just popped up in the lake. It's like a friend of mine found a blue crawfish yesterday when she was eating crawfish, and they come up once in a while. Blue lobsters make national news when they pop up in Maine.
Oh yeah, those are rare.
Those are rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is really rare too. It's an orange-tinted alligator. You can look him up. They're calling him Trumpagator. Appropriately, I love the fact that he's in Carolina, Mark, because we need all the help we can get down south.
Yes. Now I've just got 3 more, but I told you I've been gone for a long time, so there's lots of stuff going on. Death by rat returns to New York City. Now, it's not the Black Plague. It is something called leptospirosis. Anyways, it's spread by rat urine. Yummy.
Oh,
And one person in the Bronx has died, and many more have run screaming. So I don't ride the subways anymore. Ever since I started my last job, which is gone now, thank you Lord. I started riding the bus, and I actually prefer the buses. I'm rarely in the subways, but folks that are in the subways, tuck your pants into your shoes, please.
it's crazy. You and one of my best friends out there, Linda. You know Linda. You're bus people. She's been taking the bus since 1989.
It's a good way to see the city if you can.
No, I'm a subway guy. I like it under the earth. Speaking of living in other communities, here's my headline: America's secret community of mermaids in Seattle. And there's a big story on mermaids and mermen. It's a real group. We did a story on the cover of Shreveport Times. My friend Sarah did, and I was like, "What the heck?" And she did a story about a guy. He's in recovery. He's a 12-stepper, friend of Bill W's, and he's joined a mermaid community. Do you know about these?
No, but would he be a merman? A merman community?
That's a good one. They call themselves MER. So you could be a mermaid or a merman. They spend their time in elaborately decorated silicone tails that can cost up to $3,500. Sometimes they take a year to make. And then they swim in swimming pools and seas and the Red River. And they converse about it. And they have conventions. And it's not kinky. It's not
No,
like
I think it's very, very
Furbies.
cool. I like it. And I think mermen are hot. I've never seen an unhot merman.
Oh, well.
Have you?
No. Google search Shreveport Times merman.
Have you ever seen a merman?
I have. This guy was a merman. That I'm telling you, they did a story on. It's called Mermania. It's going across America, guys.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to look into it. See how much they cost to join.
It's really. You are not going to get a silicone tail. You are not. Anyway.
And the new political battleground. I have one after this. Is your restaurant receipt ever since November 20th, apparently. Like one restaurant put at the bottom of their receipts, "Immigrants help make America great." And then some customer at a different restaurant wrote, "The food was tasty. However, the owner is Mexican. We will not return. America first." That one actually was authentic because the owner was like horrified because his wife put a picture of the receipt on Facebook. Big mistake. And they started getting all these like not death threats, but hateful people out there. I just want to say on the whole receipt thing that I don't think that is new at all, because for the last few years,
yeah,
some of them are hoaxes. I don't buy them anymore. When I see something on Facebook, a photo of a receipt that says "die faggot" or whatever, I don't buy it. I don't care about it. It's a very easy way to try and get famous. There was a lesbian at a restaurant that we've been to. It's since changed hands. It's a different restaurant now, but it was called Gallup, and it's on the way to Jersey, and we ate there a couple times, and there was like a waitress there, and she did a Facebook thing, and then of course she put up a GoFundMe page so people could, outraged queer people could send her money, and she got like $5,000 and never paid it back. But it was all a hoax, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, this shit's not real. I don't buy it.
Did she ever serve you eggs? Do you know the lady?
No, I don't know her at all. I don't care. I hope I never meet her. But she wrote on the bottom of the receipt some very anti-gay thing, and then took a picture of it. But so I don't really buy into that crap anymore.
Well, I remember that whole movement, but this is an interesting one because they're printing it right on the receipt. The restaurants,
yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I like that. I got to catch up with you because I got 3. Someone just bought Hitler's personal phone for $243,000. I almost didn't tell the story, but yeah, a battered red phone once belonging to Hitler. Apparently, it was possibly used to send untold numbers of people to their deaths. Was bought in an auction recently of his items. Also sold was a porcelain dog, likely made by Nazi prisoners. I shouldn't have told this story. I feel yucky even telling you.
Well, yeah, I actually had some more, but I just went through and I said, how many can we really do? So I dumped a couple. I
should have dumped it. I'm deleting it right now, but I want to tell you another one to make up for it, and then we each have one more because they're kind of fun. But here's one when you were talking about the rats. Raccoon hitches 7-mile ride on trash truck, evades police capture. The picture of it is so funny. I mean, literally, this raccoon, we have them in our yards all over the world. Hopped on the back of a truck, took off 7 miles down the road, and up in another neighborhood, so he wasn't captured in that neighborhood. I love it.
Did he get away?
As if he did.
Well, did you see?
There's a video of it online, guys. It's funny.
Did you see about the poor bull in New York City that escaped a slaughterhouse and they chased? Oh yeah, it was so sad. They chased him down and they shot him with a bunch of tranquilizer darts, but he died. They tried to rescue him and take him to an animal place, but he died. It's very, very sad.
You're kidding me. Boy, all these escaping things. The chimpanzee, oh my.
Okay, my last one is California is a nation, not a state. It says a fringe movement, but there's a movement afoot in California because, they can put anything on the ballot out there. They have the weirdest system. You can get anything added to the Constitution, and that's why California's Constitution is such a mess. But, of course, there's people trying to do a ballot initiative to secede, to make California its own nation. Now,
well, it's the land of fruits and nuts.
It's not going to happen, but I wouldn't blame them if it did. I'd get the hell out of here too. I think New York should be its own state at some point because it's just screwed up. But anyways, good luck to them. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's interesting. Yeah, I'd rather secede if I was in California than in Texas because I think Texas would be a dangerous country. Actually, if it happened, maybe Trump could be the president of Texas. Then he's gone.
Texaco, yeah.
Texaco. We could go to the land of fruit and nuts and be happy. Here's my last headline. This one is one I couldn't delete because it's so twisted. And I don't know if you saw it. There's a video attached to it, too. And again, it could be like your little friend in New Jersey at the restaurant trying to get attention. But here it is. Man vows to eat Jason Segal's picture every day until the actor eats his picture.
That's so weird. Who is Jason Segal?
Yeah. Oh, Jason Segal's done a lot of movies and the Muppet stuff. I think he became famous in the Muppet
he was
movies.
He was in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, and he was in some other movie I actually shot out in Philadelphia. I worked with my friend on, or Boston, with Cameron Diaz, and he was a coach or whatever. But anyway, I mean, that's just odd, Mark. He apparently must have an infatuation with him, and every day he's eating a picture, posting it on Facebook, and saying, I'm going to keep eating your photo until you start to eat a photo of mine. This is creepy.
Well, it's also just weird. It's like
Twisted.
beyond weird. It's like what?
It's just twisted. Yeah.
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 We ready?
Yeah, let's talk about your cruise.
Ready?
I was jealous. I have to admit, I was a little jealous because it looked like you had a wonderful time. But I'm glad you went. So.
Well, I never cruised until I met Frank 10 years ago, and we've been on about 6 now. And I discovered that it's probably my favorite way to vacation. I love I love to cruise because you sleep with the balcony window open. You listen to the ocean as the sea days. I sleep with listening to the ocean, and then you go to a bunch of islands and stuff like that. It's just very relaxing, and there's no everybody. You don't have to do anything. There's no laundry. There's no house cleaning. The food is included with. You can eat at specialty restaurants, but if you don't want to pay for food, you pay for it with the package. You pay for it with the price of the cruise. And this one was 12 nights, which is really great. I think 10 nights would be probably more suited to me. 7 is too short because then you're just getting used to it when you have to come back. But 10 or more nights is wonderful. I hope we can. I'd love to do 2 a year. But it was so nice. We were at sea for 3 days, and then we went to San Juan, which I love. We went to Puerto Rico, Antigua, Saint Martin, Martinique, my favorite places were San Juan and Martinique. Martinique is French. And the French just do it better. Even the poverty, I gotta say, even the poverty. There's always a certain culture and flair to French culture, to French people. So I really liked Martinique. And then it was just great.
What was the food like there? Did they serve like French type food? Did you eat some island food, or did you just?
Well, yeah, but it's going to be island food. We ate in San Juan. We had dinner in San Juan. There was a friend of ours, a friend of Frank's and Michael. Michael Ellis is a friend of Frank's, a longtime friend. Well, he's my friend now too, but he went with us, so there were 3 of us. But anyways,
I saw his picture. He looked like your friend Fred. That's what I thought it was. I was going to ask.
No, it wasn't Fred. There was another friend of theirs who happened to be in San Juan when the day that we docked there. So we had dinner with her and went on some tours, a train tour. It was just really great. And then it was 3 days sailing back, which was also wonderful. And I came back, and like I said, the Wi-Fi worked amazingly well, like really.
That's so cool. Well, I've always liked the idea of those cruises that are just at sea, like you said. They don't really go to any islands. They go out and they come back, and you're just at sea. Because I like the sea days of a cruise. I've only done 2 or 3. I can't remember. I won one on a game show when I was on Jeopardy, and then I did one. Yeah, I did one on my 40th birthday because I liked that cruise so much. I did that with my ex, Charles, who you remember. And then, God rest his soul. And then did one for my 40th birthday. It was a 7-day cruise to exotic islands. And that was really fun. But I agree with you. I like the days at sea. And as you're saying that, I'm contrasting it to the dump truck outside picking up our trash and the birds. They even annoy me. Birds in the morning just annoy me with their sound sometimes.
Well,
I just like clean air and clean sound.
Yeah, and I got a bunch more stuff about it. So, they had every night at 7:00 there was an LGBT group that met at the bar. Of course, I
Friends of Dorothy or whatever.
Yes. And it used to be called Friends of Dorothy, and I know that some people don't like that, but the reality is going back, we have a history, and I value our history, and for cruising 10, 20, 30 years ago. It would say Friends of Dorothy. That's what they called especially gay men. And they would meet on the cruise ship in a bar or somewhere like that and get to know each other. Now they've changed it to LGBT, which I think is really dull and uninteresting. But at least it did say the handwritten sign said LGBT or Friends of Dorothy. So I really
that's
like that.
Cool.
And we met. It was the best one we've ever done on a cruise. We met like 6 guys. And we actually kept getting together, and we had dinner next to the last night. And 2 of them we exchanged emails with because they live in New Jersey. But anyways, it was really great. And then I really liked getting away from the continent. Even though I would look at the news, I would read the news. But just to get some real distance, physical distance from the whole American madness that's going on with our new administration, was very refreshing. And then the last thing I'm going to say, then we can talk about immigrants at some point. The crew on a ship is massive. It's like 1,000, 1,500 people who actually work on the ship and sleep in the bowels. But they're all immigrants. Of course, they're legal because the cruise line is only going to hire people who they can legally hire. But you just meet all kinds of people, Filipinos, and they're from Tunisia.
I love it.
And they all have, on their name tags, they all say what country they're from. It's really nice. Our waiter was from India, a bunch of Indians on this ship. He was so sweet. So I got to experience just that wonderful diversity, that wonderful mix of human beings that we seemed headed toward excluding in our own country. It's very sad. But anyways, it was great. I loved every second of it. And then I came back to this whole crackdown on the immigrants.
Yeah, it's interesting. A couple comments there when you go on this cruise and you meet those people, and you hear some of their stories are that they're making the money to send home to their families, or when they land in a port, they may have a 5-day break or 7-day break in which they fly back to their country and take the money.
3
and
months.
gifts.
They have 3 months. Well, they have
Is that what
breaks,
it is?
but what they do is they spend 9 months on the ship, and then they're off for 3 months, and then they probably go on another ship.
That's really cool. It'd be a neat career. And then the other comment I had is like, I don't know about you though. I just travel, and once in a great rare while, I'll talk to the person sitting next to me on an airplane, or something like that, and I strike up a conversation that's really a good conversation, because usually in my life I only want to be around. I don't like going to parties where I don't know people and having small talk, because people may say to me, well, how are you going to make new friends if you don't go? Well, Mark, as you know, I have a plethora of friends, and I really don't need any new friends. I love my friends. Hardly have enough time for them. And so you strike up a good conversation, like, this could be a cool new friend. Take their number, take their email, whatever, and then you never talk to them again. So I hope you do hook up with those guys from Jersey, because I never good with that.
We also, at dinner time, we managed to have the same table. There's two ways to eat, a couple ways to eat on the ship. One is where it's a fixed setting. It's like 5:30 or 8:30, whatever the times are. And we did that before, where you're at the same table every night, but you share it. You can either get your own, or it's more fun to share with like 6 or 8 people. So you get to know these people. We've done that before, but this time it was called My Time Dining, and we would go to the dining room whenever we wanted to have dinner. But they ended up giving us the same table every night. But we would have different people next to us every night. And a couple times, 2 or 3 times, we got into really good conversations. We met some people from Australia. We met some people from Washington State. Really, really fun. Why are you shaking your head? That
interests me. Because it doesn't interest me.
Why?
I'm the one that goes down
people don't interest you?
I love people, but they have nothing in my future. I mean,
you get to experience them.
Well, we can differ.
All right. Well, then you don't have to do it. But it's really.
I love the cruise, but I like to sit at the table with just the people I'm cruising with.
That's what we did. We weren't at a giant table. We were at a table for 4, and then next to us was a table for 4.
Oh, I got it. And then you talked to them.
They were not at our table.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Okay.
No, Mark, I am filled with love. Let's talk about immigration in this country. And that's an interesting point, because you left for 12 days. And this is a good reminder for all of us. Here's a message I got from what you're saying, Mark. Things don't shift overall. Those 12 days, the world didn't end. At the rate our current administration is going, it's only been 30 days, and it almost feels like 30 years, There's a lot going on. But the reality is you were gone 12 days, and you still come back to the same old shit. So maybe we all need to take a 12-day hiatus, even if it's not on the blue waters, and just kind of like tune out for a while. I think that's what I'm going to do for Lent. I'm going to tune out. I'm checking out of Facebook. Really, I am. And I'm going to tune out for 40-some days and just ignore it all, because you're right. I mean, maybe one thing was going on. You came back as a different version of it. But overall, Go ahead.
I got some distance, and I was able to come back now and be more of an observer. I'm not gonna spend my days upset and irate over all of the stuff that's going on. It bothers me, and I have opinions about it. But I was able to say, it's like talking. It's like having dinners and having our new president be a topic of conversation at every goddamn dinner. I'm not interested in it anymore. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump every day of my life. And the immigration thing just came up for me because my sister Kathy out in Ojai, she just had a hip replacement. But I called her yesterday in Ojai, California, and she said that there were ICE agents at the Vons grocery store. Now, we were there just a few months ago in December, and we went to Vons. So she was saying that they've got like ICE agents hanging out there now to arrest, undocumented immigrants. And I'm like, fuck, it's just so sad, because I think, when America has reached a point to where we have to assault this vulnerable population to feel great again, or to feel like we're doing something to make America great again, we're never going to be great again. It's over. We've lost our soul if this is where we're at. And I feel very strongly about that. I understand that people don't want murderers and rapists, but I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want American citizens who rape and murder. And I'm a lot more threatened by, the 35,000 people that get killed in gun violence in our country every year. Nobody's trying to do anything about that. So, but it's all a ploy. It's all a ploy. It's right out of the fascist handbook. I'm sorry. At the same time, I don't want to take too much time, but I don't think Donald Trump is going to be a fascist. He's not going to be a Vladimir Putin. He's not going to take over the country. A lot of people are terrified of that. I don't think it's going to happen. But they're doing stuff that's right out of that authoritarian handbook, and singling out immigrants now to just like put all of this negative energy and get his fan base up and cheering, and it's basically a distraction, and in my opinion, because they're doing all this other shit now that nobody's going to pay attention to. So,
well, it's interesting too, because if you're living like where Kathy lives, or you're going to see it in New York and New Jersey, I mean, ICE agents have been around forever, and they've had different rules to follow and different targets, if you will, and different missions. But you're living in Shreveport, I'm not going to see it so much, so you feel protected from what's really going on in the world. But you're absolutely right. When it's your sister and she's in a Vons, which we both used to shop at Vons when we lived in L.A., it's happening, and it is sad. I mean, this is the country that was made by immigrants. Your heritage is very different than my heritage, and I'm very proud. My partner's Portuguese. He's first-generation Portuguese. His parents were both born in Portugal, or one in Portugal, one in Italy. It's current. It's relevant to today.
And it's also racist, because I watched for a long time that it's really aimed at quote-unquote Mexicans and people south of the border. Mm-hmm. Are there ICE agents at all of these Irish bars in New York City where you've got all these Irish immigrants working at? Are they checking their papers? No. It's all
Are they
about
going to show up in Chinatown?
People it's south of the border.
I know. I mean, like I said, Chinatown, there's a rich history of people coming in and helping each other and living in small apartments above the Chinese restaurants. And it is going to change the profile of America. But I do firmly believe, when you see all these town halls and all the protests, it was the same stuff that happened when the Democrats were in control and people weren't liking Obama's ideas back then. I mean, they were silencing and questioning the leaders then, and it's going to happen. But, like a lot of my friends are like, just give it 4 years. It's going to pass. Let's just hope that nothing sticks too much, because you are 100% right. It will change the profile of who we are as people. Let me end it by my final comment is, I go to the gym to get away. It's like my cruise. I go to the steam room. I go to the whirlpool. I go to the sauna, whatever, at the end of a workout. Sometimes at the end of a long day. It's just peaceful for me. And two attorneys were sitting in there, and one's like, "Hey, John, I just don't like him." And he was being asked because of his intelligence with the Constitution, what a smart man he is, by the other arrogant, fucking towel-clad, fat dickwad. Sorry, their conversation pissed me off. But he's like, "Let me ask you, John. Do people who weren't born in our country and who came into our country recently have the same constitutional rights as us? Because they weren't born under our Constitution and blah, blah, blah. So don't we in theory have the right to get rid of them, blah, blah, blah." It's like, oh, my God. I walked out. I was pissed. They didn't want to hear it.
Yeah. I don't understand the need to attack people down the socioeconomic scale for me. I've never understood it. I don't get anything out of it. Like I said on Facebook last night, I've never lost a job to an undocumented immigrant, and I never will. Like, where are these jobs that all these people think the Mexicans are taking? None of these goddamn white people are out there in the strawberry fields picking strawberries. They're not cleaning your toilet in the hotel room. What jobs do they think they're taking? If they're worried about immigrants taking jobs, they should be doing something to stop the abuse of the visa program that Donald Trump uses and that the tech companies use bring all these fucking people over here from India and shit. The high tech industry folks. I mean, you want to. Those are the people. Excuse me. Those are the people taking American jobs. Not a bunch of immigrants out in a picking soybeans. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I know the days of going to the Home Depot and picking up someone to help paint your house in LA are gone. I mean.
Yeah, I read that there's like crops in the Alabama fields that are rotting, which is good. They should rot. People should have to go. People should go to the store and find out that the apple that they're going to buy is $3 now, and they're going to go, "How come it's $3? Because you chased you terrified all the immigrants, the undocumented workers, and they got the fuck out of here. They're all like hiding in the closet and shit. So you want to pay $3 for an apple, or you could take their job. You could go pick them.
No, go down to Mexico, build the wall, and charge Mexico. So just double jam them, send everybody back to Mexico, and then make Mexico pay for your wall.
Okay, we gotta. I'm getting heated.
Then and then we said, hey, let's talk about my final thoughts, which kind of lead into this. It's like, let's have thoughts of love. Let's not bully. Let's not shame. And a lot of it went on this week, including my own shaming of someone. And I did shame President Trump. And I have to admit, I deleted the post. Hear me out, because you posted it on the LGBT page. I know too. It was a series of photos that were done where they what's the word? Where they made what's the word? When you make some diminutively placed Donald Trump in a bunch of settings, including holding the hand of his wife, or sitting in a meeting with Obama, or sitting with his Jewish son-in-law. I bring that up too because it's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, the point is, I posted them without any comment. I just posted them kind of as art because I thought they were kind of interesting. An interesting way for an artist to make commentary without me having to make commentary. I just posted the pictures and gave credit to the photographer. And I heard about it. I heard about it from several friends. And one of my friends, I really respect her and I like her a lot. And she said, what is the point of this? And another friend said, that's mean. And you know what? I realized I was shaming our president, and it wasn't appropriate. I may not like him. Then the other one said, it's obvious you hate our president. And I'm thinking, wait a minute here,
well, that's
stop.
True, but...
Yeah, and it's not that I hate them to the point that I want to belittle them as a person. I'm not going to just go out and do a picture of you like that if I wasn't happy with you because you made me mad. But there is such a thing as political statements and political art, and art having, and as I talk through this, there is a purpose for art being expressive, and that's all I was doing. But I realized for me, it wasn't right, and I was shaming him, and it wasn't appropriate, and it did affect my friends. And then taking it a little deeper, I actually got to the point, and that's why I'm going to take a break on Facebook. And this is old school. We've been talking about this now for 4 years, about befriending people, defriending people, and all that stuff. But one of them wrote me a private comment and said, well, Rick, I've always respected your positivity, which a lot of people like the fact I can show you a good time. And I've always liked the fact you put shine a good light on Shreveport. And I've always respected doing this and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Once again, you proved that hate does overcome love. And I'm so disappointed in you, whatever. Well, I know. Delete Susie. Susie, you're no longer my friend. Yeah, not just on Facebook, Ciao. But I'm done with you, Susie. What makes your opinion any more important than my opinion? And how dare you use my logic of love overcoming hate to say hate overcoming love? I am not a hateful person, Susie. Just want you to know. Not that you're listening.
It was funny. Those pictures were funny. They're like the first couple times they were funny. But it's funny because I have a different issue with it. And it has to do with short people. I don't think that making somebody small or short as an insult, that bothers me. It's like when Trump called Marco Rubio little Markio. I mean, I already couldn't stand the man, but I really couldn't stand him when he was doing that crap. Because there's nothing wrong with being short. You're not defective because you're short. Same thing with little dick jokes. I don't like them. I hate them not because I've got a little dick. Who cares? Who knows? But there's nothing wrong with having a small penis at all. And I can't stand that kind of shit. So
I agree.
My issue would be more of the fact that they're making fun of him by calling him like tiny. I don't like that. There are wonderful tiny people in the world.
Well, so to continue on my comment, it also happened this week in the public spotlight quite a bit. Actually, 3 quick comments on it. A friend of mine, Kimberly Brown, who's friends with Ken Haynes, our friend Ken. Ken was acting opposite her on a TV series called Bold and the Beautiful. She played Sheila. She was a very popular character. Well, I didn't realize the story just came out on FoxBusiness.com, where she felt shamed after she spoke in support of Trump at the Republican convention. She left the soap world, started an avocado business with her husband in California, and she was the sole voter based on the fact that she felt that Trump is the only man to get business in the country back on track. And she spoke about it. Of course, they were desperate to find pro people in the public spotlight to, speak favoritively. But she said she cried after the and emails calling her a homophobe and a racist and accusing her of attending KKK meetings. She's not. Kimberly Brown's a very fine woman. So that was an eye-opener. The other one was the shaming of this Brazilian player who joined the Serbia team. 90 minutes while he played on the field. I don't know, probably watch it, but you may have seen the story. At a game on Sunday when they just shamed him and they made comments about him and he broke down.
Yeah, he was crying.
Yeah,
very sad.
He said he was, and I get it. It was a huge act of public racism. And then lastly, Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl when Dolce & Gabbani shamed her, and people said when she changed into her little outfit being like a football player, they made fun of her little tummy, and she wrote back, I heard my body is a topic of conversation, so I wanted to say I'm proud of my body, and you should be proud of yours too. No matter what you are or what you do, I could give you a million reasons why you don't have to cater to anyone or anything to succeed, but be you and be relentlessly you. I love Gaga's words, and it's public shaming, and we gotta stop it. There's other ways about it.
Is that your end quote?
No, I got an end quote about family, but I want to hear your end quote because we're coming to that time. But stop shaming, folks. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, and the progressive, the anti-Trumpers need to, at least I do, to become aware of that in ourselves. I don't like it. I don't like this sort of like really nasty shit I see about Donald Trump. I'm going to vote for somebody else next time, but I don't want to participate in that. And it's exactly what you're talking about. Mean doesn't conquer mean. That's for sure. And I have lots of issues with him and his administration and Betsy DeVos and all these cabinet people. But I'm not gonna like, I don't know what the word is. I'm not gonna try to demean them in my language. It is what it is. But I don't want to become the people that I least admire. There you go.
Right. It's been a good journey for us.
My end quote.
Yes, please.
Yes, the florist, this has taken a few years, but the florist in Washington State, Baronelle Stutzman, she knew this gay couple for years and made flowers for him, but she refused. What are you drinking, by the way? That's
low carb master, low protein.
Wow.
I had to get it down.
Yes, you did. But anyway, she wouldn't make flowers for their wedding, so they sued her. Now, that's a whole conversation that people have had over the last few. Should we sue these people? I was sort of I was inclined to say yes or to say no, just get another florist. But at the same time, these are public accommodations, and there's a reason to file these suits to get this all eventually sorted out. And the fact that when you're selling something, if you're selling tires and you're selling wedding cakes, it's the same damn thing. You're not participating in my marriage. I don't want you there. But if you're selling flowers or cakes to the public, you don't get to tell me I don't sell cakes to Christians. We don't get to do that in this country. We don't get to say, by the way, I'm not going to do flowers for your wedding because you're a Catholic marrying a Jew, and I just don't do that. You get your ass sued like that. So anyways, they sued the florist. She appealed, blah, 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 blah. And finally, the Washington State Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, which I think is very important to note, came down against her.
Wow.
And this is my quote. Quote, this is from the court. It's unanimous in their 50-page decision. They said, quote, the case is no more about access to flowers than civil rights cases in the 1960s were about access to sandwiches. Public accommodations laws do not simply guarantee access to goods or services. Instead, they serve a broader societal purpose, eradicating barriers to the equal treatment of all citizens. I applaud them. I think it was the right decision. And it's we are in for some rough years with this new administration there, because Betsy, boy, there's somebody I really didn't want in that position. But they immediately are rescinding Obama's order about transgender students. So we're just going to have to deal with it and move forward. That was my quote.
Yeah, we shall overcome, to use another famous quote. But I love the analogy that they made in the ruling to the denial of sandwiches. It really powerful. Thank you for that quote. My quote really goes back. It's a quote from Irma Bombeck. She would have been 90 years old yesterday.
Oh, I loved Irma.
Yeah, we were talking about your book publishing stuff before we went on live today. And, Mark has a company called Made Mark and publishes books by authors. And Irma was one of my favorite people to read. My mom loved her, and it was something passed on to me. Great humorist out of the Midwest, wasn't she, I think?
Yes, yeah, housewife kind of thing.
So, yeah, housewife, and had core values and was really interesting. I liked her and Joan Rivers about the same time. I loved them both. But it's a quote about family life. And in light of what we're talking about, we are one and we are a family, whether it's an immigration issue or denial of someone's LGBT rights or just defining a person or shaming a person. We're all small people, big people, large people. We're all family. And here's her quote in honor of Irma Bombeck from her book, Family, the Ties That Bind, ... and Gag. We were a strange little band of characters trudging through life, sharing diseases and toothpaste, coveting one another's desserts, hiding shampoo, borrowing money, locking each other out of our rooms, inflicting pain and kissing to heal it in the same instant, loving, laughing, defending, and trying to figure out the common thread that bound us all together.
I like that. It's very true and very appropriate. And it was good to be back on the Twist. A little bit rusty, I think, but we've been gone for 3 weeks. What do you expect?
Oh, I thought Rusty was like Twisty's new friend. But yes, I think it was a little rusty because you had a lot to say and I had a lot to say, and we were getting mad at each other because we were talking over each other.
Yes, but
I love you, Mark, and I'm glad you're back.
But one of my resolutions with after the cruise is I'm staying away from the heated stuff. I don't want to get carried away. It's not good for my spirit.
We didn't. This was cleansing. We talked about. This was really a show about I learned a lot about what we should. Yes, I learned a lot from this show. It was good for me.
Excellent. Everybody, thank you for listening to another edition of The Twist, America's only clothing optional podcast, and we will be back next week. Bye.